In the 1820s, a con man convinced hundreds of people to move to a non existent country. Gregor MacGregor was obsessed with pomp and prestige. When he was a teenager, he joined the British Army and purchased the rank of captain. He also didn't earn, but claimed chieftainship in his family's clan. These titles weren't enough for him, so when he heard about Latin American revolts against colonial Spain, he saw an opportunity to align himself with something exotic and interesting. He joined the Venezuelan War of Independence in 1812 and did very well for a bit. Then, a couple years later, he moved up to Florida to drive out Spanish colonies there, and he was able to capture Amelia Island off the northeast coast with very little resistance. The locals there just moved on to the mainland. MacGregor spun this as a massive success, and he set up a little government on the island with himself as the leader of the Republic of the Floridas. He made a flag and Amelia dollars, which were worthless. Morale was terrible under his leadership, and it got even worse when he sent 18 men to check out St. Augustine as a potential next target, and those men were captured or killed. Meanwhile, Spanish forces moved in on the mainland, essentially trapping MacGregor and his men on Amelia Island, so MacGregor had no choice but to give up, blame everyone else for his failures, and go home. 2 years later, he headed off to Portobello, Panama, but not before spending all of the money that he was provided to transport his new troops there. He was faced with mutiny when he refused to pay up, but he got a bailout in Haiti. MacGregor spent so much of his time making speeches and ensuring his soldiers looked the part without doing any real training or being on guard, and so they were completely unprepared when Spain showed up and marched right into the town square. This happened in the very early morning, so MacGregor was still asleep. When he woke up and heard the commotion, he jumped out of his bedroom window, swam out to one of his ships, and commanded the entire fleet to sail out to open sea. They abandoned the rest of their men on land, and those men got captured. This was his leadership style, and it was not the last time he would leave people to die because he was a coward. MacGregor was obsessed with titles and appearance and respect, but when it came time to put in any of the work or bravery needed to earn any of that, he failed repeatedly and continually blamed everyone but himself. In part two, I'll talk about MacGregor's pivot from shirking his military responsibilities to private sector grifting.